With the crime in the early morning, we'd completely forgotten about breakfast. So we now had our first meal of the day at a time that could never be called breakfast time. Even Goda-san's wonderful meal, which had supposedly been in the works since yesterday, provided no comfort. The several empty seats quietly burdened us with pain-filled sadness. Then, in the middle of this meal that felt like a vigil, Erika suddenly stood up. Everyone focused on her to see what was the matter. Her expression was somewhere between relief and insanity, as though she'd made some groundbreaking and strange discovery.
おい、どうした？大丈夫か？
わかりました。私にわからないとお思いです。わかりましたもん。そんなバカなことあるわけがない。
With a hideous expression covered in cold sweat, Erika glared and lashed out at Battler.
わかったって何が？
あなたが3階の書斎から飛び、私たちは誰一人あんたが飛び降り中庭に着地したところなんて見てないんですから。あなたは中庭からはしごをかけて3階の窓、その外壁の構造をよく観察し、雨どいなどをうまく伝えば3階の窓から中庭に降りることは不可能じゃないと気づいた。あなたは飛び降りてなんかいない。雨どいなどを伝え、みっともなく外壁をどうです？私の青き真実は。
反論って？
反論はない。ならば私の真実は有効。ほら見たことか。カッコつけて飛び降りたように見えたのはあんたはカッコつけて飛び出し雨どい。
My argument then was about whether it was possible for grandmother to escape from the study, right? Yep.
じいさまは窓から抜け出すことも可能だった。
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, okay, maybe he did use the rain gutter. Guess what? Then Kinzo could have just done that as well.
俺はそれを証明した。飛び降りようが這い降りようが、それは変わらねえはずだ。
はぐらかさないでください。人間風情が3階から飛び、それ見たこといかがです？我が主、我が。
お前疲れて飯くらい落ち着いて食えよ。
When he escaped to the courtyard through the window, Battler really did use the rain gutter to crawl down the wall, just like Erika said. His hand had slipped halfway and he'd fallen from a considerable height, but he had managed to land on his feet. No one had witnessed this, but most likely everyone in the dining hall now, except Erika, had realized that something like this had happened. Since the very beginning, no one had believed that he'd jumped down the third-floor window, even if they hadn't witnessed that directly. So they had no clue what Erika was complaining about all of a sudden, and started to whisper, staring at her with cold eyes and dubious faces.
反論できないでしょ？あなたの飛び降りは否定された。私の真実が勝ったんです。私の青き真実は有効です。我が主、私は無能ではありません。必ずやこのようにご期待に応えてみせますから、どうかお見捨てにならないでください。我が主。
Facing someone that might have been somewhere beyond the ceiling, Erika spread her arms and yelled. Then, as if in answer, a massive lightning bolt landed very close by. It was an incredible sound. You could even feel the earth shake. At the same time as that sound, Erika went limp and fell into her seat, like a puppet who just had all its strings cut. Then, as the sound of wind and rain slowly filled the room once again, Erika slowly opened her eyes as though recovering from a bout of dizziness. Then, she continued eating in silence as though nothing had happened, as if she'd been acting normally the whole time. Didn't Erika just stand up suddenly and yell something strange to someone? Automatically enough to make one doubt their eyes, Erika continued eating quietly, as though everything was perfectly normal. When they saw how ordinary she looked, everyone convinced themselves that they were totally worn out, and that they must have just seen some illusion of Erika suddenly yelling. So Erika's sudden transfiguration of a few seconds ago was treated as a daydream, and faded out of everyone's memories. Erika quietly poked at her salad and muttered in a voice no one could hear.
ありがとうございます。我こそはフルで我が主の駒にして分子。必ずやあなたのために最高の物語を献上してく。そうそう、やっぱりナイフとお箸が一番で、サラダを最も食べやすいのはね、皆さん。
Okay. Okay. I don't know where we're going with this. Erika's going fucking wacko over here. And I can only assume it's gonna get worse. Because the more she's gonna try to come up with these, infallible theories, the more like, either Badler's gonna say something or one of the witches is gonna say something. It's gonna shatter her shit. And it's just like, no, no, you can't do this to me. Until she's just totally fucking wacko.
午前3時にバトラさんがゲストハウスに戻られて、その後30分くらいで皆さんも解散されたんですね。
ええ、そうよ。いい加減眠くなってきて、一眠りしてから仕切り直そうってことになったのよ。
Smoke out the murder of the first Twilight. Erika closely questioned everyone involved to check their alibis and evidence. To confirm these, she went around the mansion with them, and when needed, took several trips out to the guest house through all the rain. Her vitality was impressive. Though she was an uninvited guest, everyone had long since stopped feeling anything strange about the way she played the detective.
エリカも着実に基礎を固めている。
無駄なことよ。アリバイがあろうとなかろうと、金蔵は窓より逃れ、今や六軒島の霞よ。決して捉えることも否定することもできぬ。さしずめチェス盤の裏側にでも逃げ込んだ。
その場合はしまい込んだというのが適当でしょうな。
そういえば例の同じくしまい込んだのであったな。ええ、異界と人間界の狭間の私の暗黒にあの探偵気取りに見つけられることはあるまいな。当然よ。人間には絶対不可能だわ。確認する？念のためな。そしてわらわたちも今後のベルンカステル教の狙いを今一度読み。
敵を知れば百戦も危うからずですな。
真に知れば百戦も戦わずに勝てるわ。
いやいや、全く。
Gap opened up a large hole in the sky and had swallowed all of them up. She invited Beato and Rodove to the gap between worlds where she had hidden the corpses. That place was nowhere in this world, and existed at no time of this world. In other words, it truly and literally was a place not of this world. In this place, questions such as where is this and what time is it have no meaning. Every single place led to here, but no place could be reached from here. Furthermore, all times connected to this place, but no time could be passed to from here. In short, this place was just what they said it was, the underside of the chessboard. No, perhaps it would be most appropriate to call this the captured pile, where pieces that have left the game go. Interesting. Then, through the pitch-black world, a glow like a faint spotlight shone, and 5 corpses came into view. The 5 pitiful corpses with their necks sliced open had been arranged neatly. Their eyelids were shut and their hands joined. Apparently even Gop had respect for the dead.
おや、今回のゲームの第一の番の犠牲者は6人ではなく。おお、お師匠様、どこへ行っていたやら。ゲームはもう第一の番を迎えて、ご覧の通り。さあ、いよいよだ。ワクワク。そうですか。ここのあなたは元気そうですね。何よりです。わらわは元気と魅惑のボディ。あと気立ての良さくらいしか取り柄がないぞ。
For some reason, Virgilia praised Beato for being in high spirits. Though Beato was taken aback at such granny-like words coming out of Virgilia's mouth all of a sudden. She pounded her chest and answered. Virgilia had been absent often during this game. She might even have been absent when Badler solved the epitaph, as well as during the uproar that followed. Apparently, she'd been absent for so many critical points that she didn't really understand much about what had happened so far in this game.
今のところ出ている死体は見ての通り首をすっぱりよ。
George, Jessica, Maria, Rosa, Genji. All 5 of them had their necks sliced open by something sharp. The wound opened wider than their mouths, and it made it feel as though they'd no longer need their mouths to breathe. Yeesh.
なるほど。ジョージ、ジェシカ、マリア、ローザ、ゲンジの死体は誰が見ても一目で死亡が確認。赤か。まあ、お師匠様にケチっても始まらぬ。そうとも。死んだふりなど絶対にありえぬ。誰もが一目で死亡を確認できる死体であるわ。 なぜリーヤは赤を？
さて、しかし常にお嬢様のことを思われている方です。お嬢様に利する何らかのお考えがあってのことでしょう。
But they hid the corpse here, specifically so that no one would be able to use the red. However, Ronave was right. Virgilia always thought of Beatrice first. A slightly displeased expression rose to Gop's face, as she saw that the corpses she'd gone to such lengths to hide had now been confirmed dead in red. However, in the end, she remembered that she was only a guest and shrugged.
なぜガープに死体を隠させた？
今回のわらわのゲームはすでに碑文が解かれ、今は夏日に仕え、夏日を守ることを目的にしているのだ。
彼らの死体を隠蔽することがどうな？
向こうの手は大体読めてるの。多分これは夏日を追い詰めるための罠。おそらく第一の番のアリバイを突き詰めていくと、夏日以外の全員にアリバイが現れるのよ。
夏日様は昨べは最初に親族会議を抜けられ、お気の毒なことに朝までアリバイが全くありません。
金蔵の存在はすでに否定不能。しかし一つだけ、それを打ち破る手が敵に残されている。
なるほど。夏日を追い詰め、金蔵は存在しないと自白させるわけですね。
敵の狙いはおそらく親族会議をめぐる駒たちの動きから、わらわたちはいち早く夏日の孤立をその罠に気づき、こうして手を打ったのだ。死体が消える。全員にアリバイがあり、運搬車は存在しない。魔女の存在を主張しつつ、夏日をギリギリ容疑者から逃すことができるわけ。
つまり夏日様を実は死んだふりだったと主張することが可能ということです
が、確認など赤き真実に到底及ば。彼らがいくら確かな死亡を見たと主張しようとも、人間界に赤き死体が存在しない以上、見間違い、トリック、もしくは彼らが全員嘘をついているなどで、いくらでも延々と言い逃れが可能なのだ。
赤き真実なき人間界においては、パーペチュア
延々と相手を否定し合っての水かけ論、美しくないわ。
ですが、しかし美しさとは勝利の先に臨むもの。勝利を得ぬ者が欲すれば毒にしかなりません。
勝てば官軍というでな。私にとっては美しくなくて、航海者の魔女たちはそれを退屈しないと呼んで好むのかしらね。
なるほど。今回のゲームの流れを把握しました。随分といやらしいものになりそうですね。
百も承知よ。そして私たちはすでに夏日がこれからさらなる罠に誘い込まれるだろうことを知っている。
I love her, but goddamn it, right now she's fallen for the traps pretty fucking easily. They just gotta dangle a little bit of bait in front of her and she'll snap at it. And then, oh, look at that, you fell into the trap. Up, 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 up.
罠？
ラムダデルタ教が生み出す19年前の男を名乗る何者かが、もうじきの午後1時にとある客室のクローゼットの中に入り、息を
Oh
潜めよう
shit,
と
yeah, I'd
命じている。
forgotten about that. Yeah. And of course, yeah, she's gonna disappear for like a set amount of time, and then like her whole goal is to not get caught there. Oh shit.
クラウスを人質に取られ、夏日は逆らえん。
Or so we think.
なるほど。必要ですね。かばいきれますか？
無論よ。何しろ夏日は犯人ではないのだからな。いくら犯人扱いしようとも、真実も幻想も我らに味方する。負ける道理などないわ。
Nancy threw her cup of tea to the ground in protest, expressing the anger that flowed throughout her entire body.
それはどう
Okay,
いう
so
意
now
味
we're
ですか
caught up to where we entered the story, where she was accused.
私が疑わしいというのですか？
先に抜けられて自室に戻り、朝まで部屋を出なかったというお話は、しかしそれを証明していただかないとアリバイにはならないと申し上げてるのです。
証明？どうやって？
どうやってでも結構です。客観的にあなたには犯行が不可能だったと証明してもらう。他の皆さんは今日夏日さんもそう邪険にされず、どうかアリバイとその証拠を示してもらいたいと思いまして。
そうよ、夏日姉さんには丸一晩の空白時間があるのよ。先に休むと言って会議を抜け、ゲストハウスへ行き、ジョージたちを襲ったかもしれない。
バカなことを言わないで。どうして私がジョージ君を、そして何より自分の娘を殺さなくてはならないというのですか？
落ち着いて。私たちは等しく疑われてるわ。悲しいけど潔白の証明は各々がしなくてはならない。
ああ、俺たちだって疑いを晴らそうと必死に昨夜のアリバイ立証に頭を悩ませ。
夏日さんかて疑われて面白いはずもあらい。悔しいと思うなら自分の潔白を証明する何かを探すのが先決とちゃうか？
The relatives spoke as though they were all under equal suspicion, but the mood about the place didn't feel so peaceful. Yeah, no, like, listen, Nazi, we're all, be equally suspicious. It's just that, we're really, suspicious of you, and we want answers. But, equally suspicious, yeah. Erika was still in the middle of confirming all the facts. Erika can suck a fat one. But except for Nazi, who was uncooperative when it came to proving alibis, everyone else had an alibi that was reasonably credible. Only Nazi, who claimed that even being suspected was an insult, was uncooperative with Erika. And her position began to grow more and more perilous. God damn it, I love Nazi so much, but Jesus Christ, she's flubbing this one so hard. She gets so worked up so easily, that's the problem. This parlor was no longer a place of comfort for Nazi. And the sound of the cup smashing had made that decisive.
どうして娘を失った私が昨夜一人で先に休んだからと犯人と決めつけようとする悪意。こんな屈辱にはこれ以上耐えられません。
へえ、あなたの無実を証明するアリバイを何か示してみせなさい。そんなものないくせにジョージを返して、この人殺し。
Okay, Ava, calm the fuck
予
down.
算かエヴァ。
Yeah, rein in your queen, Hideyoshi.
夏日さん、あんたも少し疲れて、もちろんそれはわしらも少し楽にせんか。
だな、俺たちは少し気を張りすぎだ。
夏日おばさん、どこ行くんだ？
アリバイ探しも犯人探しも実に台風が過ぎ警察が来れば全てが白日のもとに私たちが探偵ごっこをする理由など何もない。違いますか、エリカさん？
一般論的にはそうですね。ですが私にはそれをする権限がありますので。
Who gave her that authority? No one asked. It was an authority given by words of power from a higher world. So the pieces weren't even allowed to doubt it.
私は体質警察が来るまで皆さんのくだらない問答にも付き合うつもりはありません。私を疑うならどうぞご自由に。それを疑い晴らすことも私は警察に委ねますので。
Maybe a bit late to mention this, but then again, I guess this happens every time anyway. As usual, the phone couldn't connect to the police. Nazi said the police would be coming, but that wasn't exactly true. Strictly speaking, the boat would come tomorrow, and they would use the radio on that boat to contact the police. Well, it's not like I'll let everyone live that long anyway.
夏日さん、一人になるのは危険だ。ここにみんなで一緒にいた方が。
いいじゃない。それも立派な証明かもよ。これで夏日姉さんが自室で殺されてたりしたら、それも。
よせよ姉貴、夏日さんも俺たちも少し明日まで体が持たねえぜ。
一服はしても油断はせずにね。明日どころか今夜も越せないかもしれない。
夏日おばさん、部屋へ帰るならしっかり施錠して。俺は誰も疑いたくない。そしてそれ以上にもうこれ以上誰にも。
ありがとうバトラ君。では 私は部屋に戻ります。ゴーダ、あとは任せますよ。お客様にせめてこのような状況ではあってもご不自由をおかけしないように。
Getting Goda's gonna love this opportunity. I get to take care of all the guests. Ho ho!
心得ております。
With everyone watching her, Nazi left the parlor. From their faces, she could tell that they were expecting the classic mystery pattern, that the first person to quarrel and leave the circle would become the next victim. Nazi couldn't disobey because of the threat against Kraus, who had been taken hostage. Very soon would be that promised time, 1 p.m. She was to hide for an hour in the closet of a specific guest room. It was easy to suspect that this bizarre order was a trap to select her as the next sacrifice. She thought of various ways to resist, but all methods would be useless against a culprit who had a hostage and was observing her from close by. So Nazi could do nothing but obediently follow that order, and then claim that she'd been forced to do this for her husband's safety. When the promised time had drawn near, Nazi had intentionally acted annoyed and smashed the cup on the ground to give her an excuse for slipping out of the parlor. At any rate, no matter how cowardly a trap it may be, I cannot disobey now. I am now the one who carries the burden of the one-winged eagle. Now that my husband, Kraus, has been captured, I must protect it even if I have to crawl through the mud. Of course, I am prepared to do so. I am Ushiromi Nazi. Even if I am not permitted to bear the one-winged eagle on my clothes, Father gave me permission to bear it in my heart. Yeah, let him know. Now go stand in the closet. I've managed to get this far by plausibly dashing away in a rage. So far, everything has gone well. Before my eyes was the doorknob of the specified guest room. However, I wonder if it's locked. The servants are normally ordered to lock any unused rooms. What will I do if it's locked? I dashed away from the others, pretending I was returning to my room. Popping back and asking a servant to unlock this guest room would obviously be suspicious. If I can, I'd like to get this eerie hide-and-seek over with without anyone noticing. And a phone call from the one who claimed to be the man from 19 years ago. He said I would win if no one found out, but lose if anyone did find out. He said my husband would be released whether I won or lost. But as a person with a hostage taken against me, I'd rather not lose. I don't like it at all, but I have to go along with this game. When I softly gripped the doorknob, I could feel that it was unlocked. Did Shannon or Kumasawa forget to lock it after cleaning? Or did that man unlock it in advance? That man. Couldn't be waiting for me in this room, could he? And then he'll... All that about hide and seek might have been a mere excuse. I kept the fact I was coming here secret and all the others think I'm resting in my room. If I were to be killed in this situation, I might create a new baffling murder case like an extension of the one that occurred this morning.
そうならば犯人と直接対決する良い機会ではありませんか。
Nazi had some experience with using a naginata, though only casually. Okay, is there going to be one sitting in the guest room? I don't see how that's going to help you here, Nazi. Like, that's awesome that you have that kind of experience. But, like, do y'all just keep naginatas in your fucking guest rooms? Like, well, if the culprit's in here, then I could just grab, our spare naginata that I would keep in the guest room and defend myself. Unlike Eva, she couldn't brag about being able to hold off any single ruffian indefinitely. As she was now, she had no realistic chance of challenging a man with malicious intent and winning. Nah, it's okay though, she's got naginata experience. Was she just gonna grab like a fucking lamp? Use that like a naginata? I mean, yeah, there's something there. She readied herself and slowly opened the door. Oh no, not that I slowly opened the door. Dear God. She couldn't just stand around in the corridor and risk being seen by someone.